Hey, hey, I didn't see you there. I actually didn't see you there. Like, I'm not just doing a whole, like, Blue's Clues, Nick Jr., Mr. Rogers sort of oh, I didn't see you there for the benefit of a video. I'm not doing that. I genuinely didn't see you. Genuinely didn't see you. Actually, pretty serendipitous that I caught you here because I actually had something that I wanted to tell you. It's something that concerns you. It's very personal to me, but it definitely also concerns you. So about summer last year, I was coming out of a pretty hot depression in some sense of the word. 2020 threw all of us for a loop, but I feel like it really deliberately gave me like a very specific hand of stuff that I had to deal with. A lot of questioning who I was and thinking and pondering about bigger things, but it ultimately was a lot to do with loneliness and sort of relationships I have with friends and family and things like that. Fears of not death, but ends of eras, like losing friendships and things like that. There was just a profound aura of loneliness to 2020, but also specifically like late 2020 and early 2021, and then summer of 2021 was me kind of coming out of it. I came out through it a stronger person, but it was an interesting journey to go on. Summer of 2021 was when I believe I watched Pretend That You Love Me for the first time. And that kind of changed my life in terms of like not just what you can do in filmmaking, but like how personal you can make filmmaking. The idea that personal filmmaking is maybe the most important filmmaking we can do. I combined all that with kind of a Christmas in July mentality that I was having, wanting to do something that had to do with Christmas. The big thing in my head was like variety and sort of anthology. And specifically, I was thinking a lot about Christmas Eve on Sesame Street, which is one of my favorite Christmas specials of all time. It takes the regular Sesame Street format, which is of old Sesame Street, which is a main story, a main street story. Big Bird has to deal with this problem. Then you'd be cut into by shorts and songs and sketches and things like that. A song about the letter A, a song about the number 3. Christmas Eve on Sesame Street was cool because it did all of that throughout the educational stuff. I mean, it did like True Meaning of Christmas sort of a vibe, but it was like still like very profound and resonant and emotional. So I had a spontaneous burst of inspiration, which was to do my own Christmas special. Twofold. One, you call it Max Jessop Christmas Special. And the funny thing about that, in the first place, is that no one knows my name other than you guys. And I think that's really funny to stumble upon, like on YouTube or something, a Christmas special. It's like, who's Max Jessop and why does he have a Christmas special? I think that's just an inherently funny concept. And then on the second, I can, get my name out there. And then on third, just the concept of the special, I would do a 20-minute short, sort of in the vein of the Sesame Street model. I would do a 20-minute short dramatizing these issues that I had gone through, a very personal drama of my life that, it's comedic, but, it's a personal essay of me, putting myself, dramatizing what I'd gone through in 2020 and 2021 and those emotions and these grand ideas of loneliness and death and ends of eras, but in the way that I felt them specifically. And then I wanted to do it as a collaboration. Now, what do I mean by that? This is where you come in. I want to involve literally everyone that wants to be a part of it, as many people as possible, to contribute a portion to this film, so to speak, this special, so that it can total an hour, but also just to make this sort of a time capsule of everyone that's been important to me up to this point. Anyone and everyone. I mean, there are already a few people who have already technically sort of signed on, technically. Right, guys?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not all.
I'm looking for 1 to 5 minutes, really anything in that range. The sweet spot is maybe like 2 minutes, but really like, it maybe can even be shorter than 1 minute, but it's just the idea of like maximum 5 minute songs, sketches, short films, any sort of video art that you have in mind that relates to holiday season, to these themes that I'm working with about loneliness and overcoming loneliness and dealing with understanding the future, and also like personal Christmas stories, in a sense, things that really apply to you about Christmas and the holidays, and the dual-fold optimism and pessimism that goes with that. So I want stuff about that. I want stuff that's goofy and silly, that can break up the sad, the sad tone and monotony that my film is probably gonna have. In general, I want anyone to be a part of this, like anyone and everyone. Yeah, like 1 to 5 minutes, doing whatever you like, as long as it's kind of pertinent. We want to keep it like PG-13 maximum. I really don't want any cursing, definitely no nudity. We can deal with like kind of adult topics in terms, because like we're talking about really heavy subject matter of like overcoming big things. I'm starting a Discord that is completely around this production. The Max Jessop Christmas Special Discord, MJCS. There's gonna be like a Google Doc attached and all this stuff where we can kind of converse, and I want people to collaborate with other people, and I want this to be like a family affair. Here's another thing I really want you to remember about this. Certainly I don't want it to be bad or intentionally bad. I want you to put effort into it, but I don't want anyone to really go too above and beyond, unless they really want to. But I'm gonna be filming my short on my phone here. Of course, I'm gonna do it through like Filmic Pro. I'm gonna have a good mic and things of that nature. My short is going to, have a little bit of a professional aura, but it's still, I don't want to have a crew. I want to put my money where my mouth is in terms of folk filmmaking, about how you can make a really good looking and fun movie just on a phone, and I don't want a crew of any more than like maybe 4 people. Feel free to take the liberty to do that as well. I want you to feel free to make a movie on your phone. You can do it with a camera. I'm not saying you can't. I'm not saying you can't film it on whatever you want, make it look as professional as possible, but I also want you to feel okay to make something that's personal, and in that case, something that's like tangible. And I think the phone is tangible. The phone shows you that sort of accessibility that like you can make art. If it's scrappy, I'm totally okay with that. Especially because I want people who aren't typically filmmakers to be a part of this. I want people who have never made a movie before to make a movie for me. Now, I do want them to be edited pieces. If it's a sketch, I want you to edit it together. And I can clean up the mistakes. You can, if you want, but I'd like you to kind of like, from start to finish, kind of make it for the most part. Yeah, but like, be as creative as possible. I want people to be able to look back on this special for years to come, even if it kind of doesn't hold up in terms of the quality, or it doesn't hold up in terms of this or that or the other, but I want people to look back on this and be like, oh, we made that. In like a fondness way. It's like there's something special about the memory that we made. Not necessarily like the sense of pride of achievement, because I hope people who aren't filmmakers get the bug to just do creative stuff through this, through this conduit. But I also want it to be just sort of like, this is a memory that I have to hold. And that's a pretty lofty goal, but I think when you attach yourself to it, when you make it personal, when you make this something that means something to you, I think that kind of changes the paradigm of what this special could be. And I don't know how this will turn out. It may be crappy, but this has not left my brain for a year, or like a year plus now. And so I can't let this go on any longer. And I know the moment I shake it off and brush it off, the moment all these things are going to happen, the moment I'm going to lose that friend that I want to kind of immortalize, that I want to romanticize, that I want to express my friendship towards in my short, this means a lot to me, and I would love for you to be a part of it. So if you find this to be interesting, please DM me on Instagram or wherever you're seeing this. DM me, and I'll give you a link to the Discord, or if you don't feel comfortable about that, we can just talk in DMs or call or something like that, or a personal Discord. And then the deadline for this, I want everything to come together before Christmas. I want a release date on Christmas week, probably before, like on that first week of December. Get everything to me on the first week of December. Like that's your deadline, but that's like a late deadline. I want it to be like before December, like maybe end of November. So that gives you like a month plus to work on something, which isn't a lot of time, but again, it's with, taking that pressure off. I love you all, and the Max Jessop Christmas special is on. This is about you, this is about me, and this is my passion project. This is my selfish little quarter-life crisis project, and I want you to be part of it so desperately. I love you all. Please contact me, and hope to see you there. Love you.